Ever since Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster brought Superman to life, one question has always intrigued fans. How strong is Superman? Answering this isn't simple, as Superman's feats of strength have varied over the decades, impressing and even polarizing opinions. For instance, since his debut in 1938, Superman displayed an impressive level of strength, easily lifting cars and trucks. However, it was during the Silver Age of comics that his strength reached almost unimaginable levels. As a young Superboy, he once dragged an entire galaxy. On another occasion, a sneeze of his destroyed an entire solar system. Yes, that actually happened, as absurd as it sounds. In more recent times, during the New 52 era, Clark demonstrated the ability to bench press the equivalent weight of the Earth for 5 consecutive days. And if that already sounds surreal, in All-Star Superman, his strength surpasses all limits when he lifts 200 quintillion tons with just one arm after absorbing a solar energy overload. But in this video, we'll focus on standard Superman and highlight a new epic feat featured in issue number 12 of the comic Superman Man of Tomorrow. I'm Andrew the Geek Master. Don't forget to leave a like to support the channel and to keep up with stories like this one. Hit the subscribe button, activate the notification bell, and let's get started. The story begins at the Daily Planet, where Perry White questions Lois Lane about the idea of publishing an article on Superman taking a day off. Perry worries that this news might encourage criminals to commit crimes, knowing Superman won't be around to stop them. However, Lois argues that Superman believes the story will inspire people to help each other. Despite the risks, Perry agrees, and the news spreads widely. Superman is taking a day off. However, we see that Clark's day off won't be a day of rest. Instead, it might be one of the most exhausting days of Superman's life. That's because Superman decides to help the Titan Atlas by holding up the heavens to give the Titan a break. Atlas explains that after the Titans lost the war against the Olympian gods, Zeus condemned him to hold up the heavens for eternity. When Superman asks how much it weighs, Atlas assures him it's more than Superman can bear. He advises Superman to lift it not only with his strength, but with all his heart. And so, when Superman takes over holding up the heavens, he recognizes the weight as impossible to bear. He even asks how long Atlas will be gone, but to the Man of Steel's surprise, the Titan vanishes. For those who don't know, a fan asked the writer about the weight Superman was holding, and the writer confirmed it was the weight of everything, solidifying this as one of Superman's greatest feats of strength. As Clark struggles to keep the heavens steady, many people, inspired by Superman's good deeds and knowing he's taking a day off, decide to help one another. At 8 a.m., a child helps an elderly woman rescue her cat from a tree. When she thanks him, he says he's just doing what Superman would do. At 11:30 a.m., a villain takes advantage of Superman's absence by setting fire to a city building as an act of revenge. Fortunately, his plan is thwarted by the timely arrival of Supergirl. As firefighters extinguish the flames and thank her for her help, Kara makes it clear that without Superman, she wouldn't even be a hero, so she wouldn't miss this chance to help him. At 2 p.m., Silver Banshee uses her soundwave powers to destroy a museum. However, she's quickly defeated by a powerful sonic scream that knocks her out instantly. The workers thank Black Canary for her help, and Dinah replies that she'd do anything for Superman's city. After all, he was the first hero. By this point, the weight Superman is holding begins to feel heavier. His veins bulge, and his normally invulnerable body shows signs of extreme strain. Yet, he persists. At 5 p.m., the villain Chemo launches an attack on a chemical plant, which could have had devastating consequences. Fortunately, Firestorm, who was visiting Metropolis after reading about Superman's day off, steps in. Using his powers, he melts Chemo and neutralizes the threat. Firestorm is yet another hero grateful for everything Superman has done. At 7:30 p.m., Bruno Mannheim and the Intergang rob a bank, only to be confronted by a group of citizens outside, determined to protect Superman's city. Mannheim has no qualms about killing them, but before he can act, the Flash suddenly appears and swiftly defeats the entire Intergang. Flash states that he's covering the Man of Tomorrow's shift and emphasizes that whenever Superman is in trouble, helping him is the least he can do. By 11:30 p.m., Perry, Lois, and Jimmy discuss everything that happened during the day. It's true that Superman wasn't there, but everyone Clark had helped or inspired in the past, heroes or ordinary people without powers, came through to pay it forward. A visibly worried Perry asks Lois when Superman will return, but Lois, wearing a somber expression, admits she doesn't know. Around the same time, Atlas finally returns to resume his eternal burden. Superman, now utterly exhausted, hears Atlas explain that preventing everything from collapsing requires tremendous sacrifice. If it weren't for Superman, he would have missed the one day no father should ever miss, his daughter's wedding. Thanks to Superman, Atlas had the rare opportunity to attend his daughter Calypso's wedding. Moreover, he'll never forget the shocked and angry expression on Zeus's face upon seeing him at the ceremony, as Zeus believed no one would volunteer to help the Titan. With that, Atlas takes up the heavens again, and Superman, visibly drained, admits that for a moment he feared Atlas wouldn't return. The Titan assures him that only Superman can understand the responsibility of carrying the weight of the world, a burden he wouldn't wish on anyone. Superman agrees and decides to rest there before returning to Earth. The next morning, a child looks at the Daily Planet's headline, which highlights how the citizens of Metropolis came together to help in Superman's absence. Inspired, the boy expresses his desire to become a hero. At that moment, Clark Kent, in his civilian disguise, buys the newspaper for the boy. Removing his glasses to reveal himself as Superman, he tells the boy that anyone can be a hero as long as they're willing to lend a helping hand. And that's it, folks. In this chapter, Superman not only showcased another incredible feat of strength, but also reminded us that heroism isn't limited to superpowers. Everyone can do their part to make the world a better place. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I ask you to comment on what you thought about this Superman feat. To keep up with stories like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell, and leave a like to support us. Thanks for watching, and until the next adventure.